Welcome back to another episode of Charts on Demand brought to you by TradeSnyper. In last episode, we were warning people to keep their eye on the very volatile crypto market, and we were talking about a potential crash slash correction that is currently happening right now. If you didn't catch last episode, be sure to go tune in. We had some really accurate predictions, and I'm going to show that today in this episode, so definitely stay tuned. Today we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, XRP, AMC, a couple other stocks and cryptos, and then we'll call it a day. So first things first, this is the Bitcoin chart. If you're new to my channel, you know that I function off using this TradeSnyper indicator right here. As you can see, it's an indicator that flips colors, which indicates and predicts where the stock or crypto is going to go next. It's actually very, very accurate, and I would literally never ever look at charts without it on it. So essentially, the trade sniper works like this. Once the momentum of the stock or crypto has changed, it reads it and it changes colors. So if you follow the arrow, right up here was when we had the top, and I was actually calling this top on my channel. This is the Bitcoin weekly chart, and I called the top because I was noticing that TradeSnyper was kept on flipping from green to blue. Um, and when it flips blue, it usually indicates that the rally's over, and there's going to be either a small sell-off or a small correction. So that's blue. Once it turns to red, especially on the higher time frames, as you can see, this is a weekly chart. Once it turns to red, that's going to indicate a potential massive drop, just like right here back in May. I was calling this out on my TikTok, and a lot of people were commenting, "Oh, Bitcoin's going to 100K, blah blah blah," and maybe it actually will, but I knew that it had to correct first, and I'm sure a lot of people lost a lot of money if they did not listen. So and sold. So at the bottom. So right now, as you can see here, Bitcoin the TradeSnyper Bitcoin chart has flipped blue on the weekly. I've been talking about this for a couple weeks, and it did flip blue last week. So I noticed that there was this rally going on. Everybody and on Twitter and TikTok was talking back about being bullish and it was going to go to 100K. I highly disagreed. I didn't think it was. I pretty much called this out as a potential bull trap. What that means is it's going to make it look like it's bullish, but it's not. It's actually bearish. It's a trap. So as it's going up, people are buying in, and boom, right here, it gets rejected and sells off. Now, right here, this formation is a rally formation. Most of the time, if this exact price point right here holds, most of the time, it will shoot up through this and it will go up to that, higher price points that people are predicting. But if it breaks through this, which is we're going to find this out within the next week to 2 weeks, if this price point right here around 45, 46, 47,000 breaks heavily, we're going to see some massive downside. So it really all depends on what happens in this structure in this formation, and I just don't like it. Now, as you can see here, on the weekly chart, the trade cipher can flip from blue to green, and you could get a little bit more upside for a couple more weeks. But the problem is that could be very short-lived, and if it flips from blue to red, indicating selling pressure, it's going to dump. So on the weekly chart, we're just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen at this price point on Bitcoin. Now, if you're interested in getting access to this indicator, you can get this synced right up to your TradingView account. All you have to do is go over. There's a couple ways to get it. Right now, go ahead and shoot me a follow on TikTok. My name is TradeSnyper, and to get access to that indicator, you just click right here and sign up. It's the literal price of a cup of coffee. So a lot of people are signing up and using it and giving me positive feedback, and that's great. If you want to go directly to Patreon and you don't have TikTok, just go ahead, go to patreon.com and type in TradeSnyper, and you'll be able to access the account, log in, sign up, and I will give you access to this indicator right here for your very own charts. And you can follow along and make these predictions as I've been. So as you can see, these sort of formations here, this is a descending triangle. most of the time these fall to the downside. This time it didn't, and it shot up, and that's why I knew that it was potentially a trap. But again, we're gonna wait and see. We're gonna look at the daily. Now on the daily, it's red, and obviously, the fact that the whole crypto market's getting sold off right now, that's why this actually flipped red last night, and that's why I was making predictions yesterday that we're going to see a big drop, and we did. 5% isn't too bad, but the problem is if this breaks right here, like it's trying to, it's going to be a big problem. The good news for Bitcoin hodlers is if this does not break, this is kind of testing these price points. See, it tested it right here, and it tested it a couple times here. If it tests it multiple times and it does not actually break to the downside, that's bullish, and that means that it could shoot up to the upside and give more gains. But it's just very risky. You really want to either wait you want to wait if you're going to short it. You want to wait for this to break, and once this path breaks right here, this little line breaks, it will shoot to the downside quickly. If this holds, it should most likely ping back and forth and then shoot to the upside. So we're just going to have to right now. I would highly recommend to be in a no trade zone. If you're in a long trade, I would just watch this, watch the trade sniper. If this is to continue, it's going to go back down for some more downside, and that is not good. If you look at some of the lower level time frames, as you can see here, TradeSnyper has been red, and as you can see, once it does flip red, there is some hope. Once it flips green, it'll shoot up. So that's kind of what we're waiting for. Kind of waiting to see. Just the whole entire market does not look good. So we're gonna move on. We'll probably go back to Bitcoin now. Here's Solana. A lot of people have been talking about Solana. I've got a lot of requests for this chart. Let me get rid of this arrow. This is old school. We're going with the new school arrow. This is the new school arrow we're going to be using. So, 2 days ago, last episode, Solana was looking like this. Okay, Solana was shooting up out of this, and it looks just like this. And if you don't believe me, I have the proof. And this was the last episode. So this is what Solana looked like. And what I was telling people who are following my channel was to be very careful. I know a lot of people were jumping in on Solana thinking this was a breakout, but what I was talking about, I don't think it's going to pick up the sound, so I'm just going to go ahead and mute it. But what I was saying was Solana was going to break down. I literally had the price point of $136, and then I figured if 136 was to hold, that Solana would shoot to the upside if it holds. So, but we made this $136 price point 2 episodes ago. So again, if you're trying to get involved in cryptos and stocks, I would definitely shoot me a follow on YouTube because we are making these predictions and they're coming true. So let me just get this here to show everybody. It's kind of glitching out, but here we go. So we're just going to pause it. So here's the price prediction of $136. How much is Solana? 144, but it did hit 136 earlier today. As you can see here, it literally did exactly what I was talking about. And now it did get a little bit of support. As you can see, the trade sniper here is bending as it did here. And the last time this happened from red to green, it shot to the upside and went on a little bit of a rally. Will it rally again? Well, you'll have to see. I would just hang tight and wait for the color flip to get into any of these trades, but it's very risky. So that's Solana. On the weekly chart, you could just see that how overbought it is. I mean, this is just crazy. It's just shot up. Not much to see there, but it most likely needs to correct. On the daily chart, can't really really the 4 hour chart is the most effective to prove this point. So that's what we're going to show. So that's that. I'm surprised my computer's still glitching, but that's what it's doing. So bear with me. Okay, so Solana. There was a price point. Go check out last episode if you want to see these predictions, and you will see that they were spot on. Okay, let's take a look at ETH. Now, Ethereum is in a very interesting kind of structure. We've had it in this reverse triangle for a while, and as you can see, it went up on the top of this grind line here until TradeSnyper indicator flipped blue. And once it flipped blue, now it's been 2 weeks of sell-offs. And so that's why we made this prediction that it was going to fall, and it did. And we're kind of predicting it's going to fall even more, potentially down to 2,000, and then maybe shoot back up. But again, it all depends on what Bitcoin does. So we're going to wait and see what happens with ETH. Um, I'm going to just show here on the daily and what it looks like on the daily. This looks a little bit messy with this, but with this prediction, but that's okay. As you can see, the indicator flipped red right here, and now and it did this. If you look at right at the bottom on September 18th, it's the 20th. So this was red on the 18th. My indicator was red 2 days ago. So anybody who has using TradeSnyper or got access to TradeSnyper or watched my YouTube videos would know that we were predicting a crash, not a crash, or I don't really want to call this a crash because 7% isn't a crash. I would call 20 to 30% in a day a crash. This is more like a small correction, but we will see what happens with ETH. It just doesn't look very good here. I would assume that we're going to get a bounce pretty soon, based on the fact that uh, it's finding a little bit of support here. So we'll see what happens with it. But again, it all depends on what Bitcoin does. So once these cryptos are able to decouple off of Bitcoin, we'll see a completely different market. But I doubt it. Let's take a look at Litecoin. This is a very interesting chart. Again, I apologize for the delay. I don't really look at Litecoin or follow it, but I did want to point out that I've had for this since 2020 February of 2021. I've had this mock Litecoin prediction where I took Litecoin from the past, and as you can see here, it's almost spot on. As you can see, it shot up here as it did before, and then it fell down. The only thing it missed was this upswing, but we got that upswing right here, and then now you see the rejection of this exact price point, and now it's falling, and it is falling below this specific grind line. So that's not good for Litecoin. I know there was a fake article out about Litecoin that they have paired with Walmart, and it just doesn't make any sense. I know I saw it shoot at 20%, and I just said to myself, "This is the trappiest, shadiest shit ever." Litecoin on the daily, as you can see, I mean everything is bright red. The whole market's selling off. Uh, this is not good for Litecoin. This is not good. The fact that this pain broke here is really not good for Litecoin. And this was the exact candle I was talking about. This was the day that Walmart uh, Walmart was supposedly partnering with Litecoin. Why would they partner with Litecoin? That makes no sense. It's just insane, this market. So you got to be really careful. I'm sure people probably bought this here. Maybe they bought 200, 215, 220, thinking it's going to be the new thing, and clearly not. So we'll see if this doesn't get picked up here. I'm expecting some more downside for Litecoin. Um, I'm predicting a potential 50% drop, and that will leave Litecoin at about 80 bucks. So if you're trying to get Litecoin, I would get in around that price point. Computer's still being laggy, so we're gonna just press on. Dogecoin, everybody's favorite. Dogecoin has been in a very interesting structure. As you can see here, we were in these descending parallel channels, and it's pretty spot on. It just gets rejected right here, and then it fell all the way down into this descending triangle. When I said earlier that most of the time descending triangles break to the downside, this is what I meant. So this is exactly what is happening right here, as it shot up to the upside, faked out, and then broke down to the downside, and now it's 8% lower, and it's just getting cracked. And as you can see right here, it did break this previous bounce point. So that's really not good for Doge. If it doesn't get some support here, this was major support back in the day, back in August. It could be a big problem. And we're just going to put this line right here as like the last like line of support for Doge. If this is to break, if you're hodling Doge, I'm not gonna, this is not a financial advice channel, but I would say that if this does not hold here, Dogecoin's in some big trouble for some more downside. If you want to look at lower time frames, this is a 4 hour. This is what I was talking about with the descending triangles. They're very, very dangerous. Um, and they like I said, they most of the time will break to the downside. If you can catch them, you can either get out of your trade or short it. With Bitcoin, if you can catch it, you could short it. And this just looks terrible. So Dogecoin has to get some support very soon. I believe it very well could. You're most likely going to get a bounce up eventually to the bottom of this descending triangle, and then a rejection from it, and then more downside. So we're just going to leave this here, give it a little bit of room to breathe. And then if this gets rejected, I would say it would, man, my computer's being very laggy. I would say that it would break down, possibly touch the bottom of this channel here. So we're gonna leave that there and for now, and we're going to put our price point on it just to say betting that it will probably go to around 17 cents or lower. Let's take a look at XRP Ripple. I know I'm just dusting through these today, but my computer's being laggy, so I have to fix it apparently. Okay, so this is XRP. This was what we were talking about yesterday or past episode as a breakdown to the downside, which it did. Um, and if you look at previous YouTube episodes, I did have this and catching support at the bottom. If it did, I had this going to the upside, which is exactly what it did, and then down for some more downside. If you look at it, it makes more sense if you look at it on a weekly chart. So this is what I was talking about here. We made this prediction probably right around here, I believe. We had this in this triangle. If it was to get support, which it did, go to the top of the triangle, get rejected, and then fall down. Now, I'm expecting it to possibly fall down to 56 cents, which is a 50% drop. If this doesn't hold, it's going to be an absolute disaster for XRP. Absolute disaster because we are again looking like we're forming into another descending triangle. And if you kind of compare it to Doge, it looks very similar. You see, it looks very similar, and we're nearing the edge of it. So if this falls here, it most likely can fall. If it does get support at 56 cents and doesn't fall down below, it will probably shoot up through this, and it will probably go absolutely nuts. So I would just be careful but if you're looking to get an XRP, I would probably wait until it gets to 50 cents and then just dollar cost average all the way down. Again, not financial advice, but that's what I would say to do is to do that. Now, people might say, well, what the heck is dollar cost averaging? Well, what you'll do is the strategy is so let's say, for instance, it does fall to 56 cents, you buy, and you say, okay, I bought $1,000 worth of XRP, for example. Now, let's say it falls more and it continues to fall. Okay, you got in at 56 cents and now let's say it falls down to 40 cents. Well, then you just buy again. And some strategies are if you put 1,000 in at 56 and it goes down to 40, you can put 2,000 in at 40. And then that way, when it does eventually shoot up to the upside, you'll be able to recoup your losses if you get any losses. So that's the strategy. You just continue to buy. You save shells in your bankroll to be able to purchase it. I'm just gonna Man, this grind line here, I mean, it's probably not great, but yeah, it's probably right there. As you can see, this when I'm making these grind lines, I try to have as many touch points as possible. As you can see, this touch point here, rejection, broke through, and then it got here. Now it's just stuck right here. So that could be a good cause if this doesn't break for it to shoot up. If this does break, it's going to shoot down, but we can't tell right now because the market's in a massive sell-off. So what we're going to do is just wait and again, no trade zone. A lot of people are going to quote buy the dip. That's probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You don't want to buy the dips, guys. You want to buy the bottoms. Okay, buying dips is I'm not gonna say dumb because it's a decent plan. It's not the worst plan ever, but you want to buy bottoms. And if you go back to historical XRP drops, I mean, if you had bought 8 cents here, 10 cents, 16 cents, you're all set. You want to get the bottom, and that's what I usually recommend to do. So that's XRP. We're gonna take a look at some stocks. We're gonna take a look at AMC. As you can see, I've been bearish on AMC for a while. I mean, you don't get much clearer than this. This does look like a falling wedge. Um, TradeSnyper has flipped red on the weekly, and AMC is falling 7%, as are a lot of other stocks. MicroStrategies, Moderna's actually doing decent. PayPal is dropping. Facebook is dropping. Um, so we did make this call as well on past episodes. Be sure to go back and look at some of my past episodes. If you don't believe me, we had this structure drawn to the upside, which is exactly what it did, rejected by the top of the triangle, and then down for some more downside, which is what it's doing. So some pretty impressive stuff going on here. I know a lot of people are very bullish on AMC. I know it's a meme stock life, but the whole fact of the matter is the market's just could be in some big trouble if these sell-offs start to continue. I believe they're going to, but let's just go ahead and take a look. I mean, everything is red today. Let me just update this. Pretty much everything's red today, and that's not good. Tilray's dropping, pot stocks, Aurora Cannabis is dropping, everything is just dropping. So I would definitely say be careful. So we're gonna wrap it up there. I know we just dusted through this episode, but we had some points we had to prove. So keep a lookout if you're again trying to get access to TradeSnyper. Go ahead and shoot over to TikTok and just click this link right here, and we'll get you access. Or go directly to Patreon and type in TradeSnyper, and we'll get you set up. So stay tuned. We're going to be posting a lot more on YouTube, so just stay tuned. And we're just going to just take one more peek at Bitcoin. It just looks so bad. Again, we're just waiting. We're just waiting for this line to break. If this line breaks here, it's going to be a big problem for Bitcoin. So let's take a look at some other charts real quick and see what sort of drawings I have before we go. Yeah, I mean this is a bull flag that got a fake bull flag that got rejected. I mean it's just bad. It just looks real bad. 43.7. I mean let's see what other drawings we have just before we go. Here's another descending triangle that shot to the upside. It's now looking like a rally formation like that, a failed rally. These failed rallies are very dangerous. When I say a failed rally, it's something more like something to just pay attention to because it's just it's going to drop if it doesn't shoot up to the upside, it's going to drop hard. So just be very careful. I'm not going to tell anybody to buy the dip because I think it might keep on dipping. So just be careful out there and tune in. We're going to be going over some more stocks and cryptos in the next episode. All right. Have a great day.